there's already a lot of debate brewing about this subject, about like PlayStation 6 versus the Xbox Next or Xbox Magnus. And WCCF Tech kind of put together a little performance estimate that I think kind of speaks to this. I do think a lot of this discussion gets lost in the sauce of like not considering that raw hardware and raw stats don't mean much until the devices get into the public's hands. I mean, there was a lot of talk about how Xbox Series S was going to run circles around, it was going to run circles around the PS5, and the PS5 wasn't going to be as good. I mean, there were so many statements made about these devices before they came out, and all those statements ended up being false and wrong. So we need to be very, very hesitant about putting a lot of stock in these predictions. But I do want to look at this article, and we'll kind of see where it lands, kind of react to it. I'm curious what you guys think as well in the live chat. Like, do you think... I'll put my cards on the table. I think the Xbox Magnus will be stronger on paper because what it's setting out to do is to be a console PC hybrid, so it's kind of having to be stronger. I think the PlayStation 6 is more going to be focused on a more moderate jump in raw power, leveraging machine learning, AI, and their Project Amethyst relationship with AMD, giving the thing a little bit more boost. We have a video about ray tracing and a discussion about that as well from Moore's Law. So let's take a look at this here. From WCCF Tech. It says PS6 performance estimate puts it around a 9070 XT level, while Xbox Next is around an RTX 5080. RDNA 5 has more features than Blackwell. Now, some people have said it's kind of weird to compare different brand cards here, but this again is their best approximation based on the available data. That's kind of how I gathered it to be. I'm going to try and get this text a little bit bigger for you. So it says, leaks about rumors and performance of the future of the PS6 console have significantly increased lately. Last Friday, YouTube Moore's Law is dead shared estimates of the PlayStation 6's rasterization performance, suggesting that it would be 3 times as fast as the base PS5, which would put it around NVIDIA's RTX 4080. Later, the same YouTuber commented that the performance uplift during ray tracing operations will be much higher, between 5 and 10 times as fast as the base PS5. Now, this is something that I've spoken a lot about. This to me is the game changer. This to me is what makes PS5 Pro industry disruptive. It what makes it, magnetic to developers, because they really like ray tracing and they want more of it. It helps them do more with the game, and it's transformative to a game's appearance. If you look at Assassin's Creed Shadows as an example, it's been pretty transformative. Now, AMD insider Kepler has shared different predictions. According to him, the PS6 will be around the performance level of an AMD Radeon 9070 XT, AMD's current flagship GPU. However, the next generation Xbox will be slightly more powerful, Kepler comparing it to a GeForce RTX 5080. Both consoles will be powered by AMD's RDNA 5 architecture, which Kepler L2 reckons will be the largest architectural overhaul since graphics core next GCN era. Additionally, insiders said it will be there'll be even more features in NVIDIA's latest architecture, Blackwell. Oh, it's going to have more than that. I've also been told that Mark Cerny helped with RDNA 5, which I imagine that would play a pretty significant role into how PlayStation 6 implements it and runs, giving it probably performance lifts beyond just raw power. So we have here, there's linked to several AMD patents. So they have all these links to patents about this subject. With regard to, it's going to have more features than NVIDIA's latest architecture. Now being told in chat, Wired Rope says 9070 XT with driver updates passes a 5070 Ti, so they are basically the same. It's all about implementation and execution, so raw power is not always the only thing to look at, especially when you're looking at a console, because a console is going to always get a little bit more of a performance lift because people are developing just for the console. Having more raw power on a PC console hybrid makes sense to me. If you're sideloading Steam, Epic Game Store, and others, you're going to need to have a broader spectrum of power. This also gets into the pricing discussion and would likely mean that the next Xbox would probably be more expensive than the PlayStation 6 because they're offering different items to different markets, to different target consumers. So I don't see these companies competing anymore. I think this next round of hardware is probably going to largely prove that. Microsoft did promise its fans a year and a half ago that the next console will deliver the largest technical leap ever seen in a hardware generation. I think this largest technical leap is referring to their work with AMD for back compat, like total back compat. I think that's the largest technical leap. I also think a large technical leap is the fact that you're going to have access to like PC, Steam marketplaces. So I think that's kind of a double whammy, and that's going to make it for a very, very compelling piece of equipment that you're going to be able to get like back compat of your entire dadgum library, as well as having access to these PC libraries. So I think that's going to be a very clear indication that these are very, very different devices. Like that's how I see this future. And I see this future as actually being really great for me because I like what PlayStation's doing. I like how the hardware comes first. I like how their studios prioritize their hardware first. And Herman Hulst has said their tentpole titles are meant to show off their hardware. And I like that Xbox is going to give me a device that, hypothetically, allegedly, what we're hearing, it's going to, put Steam in my living room, and it's going to be a powerful device. I'm excited about that future. These are very different devices that offer very different solutions for me, and I think that's a good thing. So they consider here at the end, they're considering these consoles are still 2 or 3 years out. We'll have to wait a long time to get the official specs. That said, we'll keep reporting. Yeah, so at this point in time, if what we're hearing is true, I think we're in for a bright future with very different devices, very different pricing structures, and very different approaches to how they play games. And I think that's a good thing. I do. I would love to know what you guys think.